Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Padel Pulse podcast powered by TSH Padel. We're back indoors. Bordeaux P2 just finished. New champions? Same exact guys on the men's side. Ismail, Coello and Tapia again winning, making it how many titles now? 6 titles on the season, 35 overall. Thoughts on Coello and Tapia taking this one home?
It's just become now their norm. We're used to them winning, and every time I'm watching their match, I almost have zero doubt that they're going to win. It's reached that point, especially against Chingalan, to be honest. But today, for me, the story was Arturo Coello. I loved how he played today. He was masterful. I felt like he carried Tapia all throughout that match. Tapia did not bring anywhere close to his good level. I'm not even going to say best, good level. But Coello was amazing. He was amazing. No errors, just consistently solid. The volleys were amazing. He finds the spaces brilliantly every single time. I thought he dominated the Chingotto matchup. I thought every time Galan wanted to shock him and go to volley matchups with him, I thought Coello was amazing. I thought he was aggressive in all the right moments. There was maybe 1 or 2 smashes where he went for it prematurely and it didn't convert. I thought Coello played an amazing match. I thought he was suffocating Chingalan the whole time. I loved his mental toughness and fortitude. He won that tiebreak in the first set. He won it. When they were down 5-3, that bullet of a bajada was amazing.
That was insane.
It was insane. I was
whoa.
worried for Chingotto and Galan's life after that one. I think you'd suffer some massive injury if you tried to step in front of it. For me, that changed the entire momentum of that first set and of the match. Even though Chingalan did get set points, but this was amazing from Coello. That's my biggest takeaway. I loved what he showed today.
It was awesome.
Haroon.
Yeah, it was crazy. The again, I can't get over that bajada. I was like, wow, that was super torpedo.
It was a bullet.
And what's even crazier than that is that that's not the first time he does it. Like, he does this regularly. He does this frequently. Insane. So yeah, I agree with you, Smile. I think Coello he deserves the MVP. He was the MVP of the tournament. He deserves the MVP because he was so dominant and he was so there and consistent, and he made amazing points and coming up with insane gets.
Coello, he doesn't dip. And on defense, he's unbreakable. From the back or the front, by the way, he was incredible today.
Yeah, true. He doesn't get to, he gets. He's thought of as this offensive player, but he doesn't get enough credit for being elite defensively, and that's what he was. But also something I like to touch upon. I love how this is a partnership. Like, it's not necessarily where one person's always the leader, where Tapia, he's the better player, a fantastic guy, everybody talks about him, we love him, and Coello's a sidekick. I feel like they kind of switch roles. Like, sometimes Coello's the leader, sometimes Tapia's the leader, and I love how they're both able to take a back seat or become like, okay, I'll just be your sidekick here. Tapia said in the match, he's like, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna improve defensively. I'm gonna work. I'll like he's trying to prove to Coello that, hey, you're gonna see what I'm gonna do for you. You're gonna see what I'm gonna do for you, which is I love that energy. And yeah, like you said, like I didn't have.
That's a good point. They do alternate, Haroon. That's really a nice point. Like you can't just outright say Tapia's the alpha or Coello. Like they really alternate who's taking the lead in matches. And like we saw in Valladolid, then Tapia took the back seat. I think even in Valladolid, and I think today Coello was in the lead driving seat again. Yeah.
To also like you're saying, Smail, like you also almost had zero doubt that Coello and Tapia were gonna lose. It's crazy because they had it. They were playing amazing. Chingalan were there. Like, that first set tiebreak was insane. Like, wow, they're coming up with insane shots. Although Galan wasn't feeling it. He felt like he was lifeless. He wasn't having a lot of energy. He was so quiet and reserved, but he was still coming up with insane shots. I don't know, like Yusuf, did you also feel that, like, I don't know, Coello, Galan wasn't feeling it as well. Like, even though they were coming up with insane shots, did you have any doubt that Coello and Tapia were going to lose? What was your thoughts there?
Yeah, so before I move into Galan and Chingotto, which I think there's a discussion to be had there about what happened this match. First off, Coello, can I just say, just to build off what you guys said, and I have it here in the notes that I took throughout the match, I said, Coello keeps proving time and time again that he is the best player in the world. And that was my conclusion from this match today. And you know how we like to see, we're used to seeing Tapia do this, right? Tapia points at his head and like mental giant. Coello's the actual mental giant. I love Tapia. I feel like he does it because he has to work so hard. Coello is always there. He's always there. He does not dip mentally. He holds the fort for this team. And for the past 2 weeks, we are seeing Coello shine again and again, and I love it because he has been, I feel like, taking a backseat and away from the credit, and he's now front and center. And so this tournament was a completely different style of play, right? Because it was indoors, it was slow conditions. And what I loved from both Coello and Tapia was that their firepower was taken away, in a sense. They were not allowed to play their style of paddle. They were forced to play, like you guys were saying, where the defense, Coello showed insane defense. They both showed amazing defense. They both showed the patience to play the paddle that is needed to be played in these conditions. And that brings me to the Chingotto Galan point.
But before that, they know how to adapt so well.
Exactly.
Coello and Tapia. Like the way Coello finds the spaces and they cover the spaces so well. I don't know where Chingalan can go on the court. Exactly. I honestly don't know where they can go. The Coello and Tapia, they're covering the spaces really well. Already Coello talk about how a lot of credit is given to his size, of how well he defends because of his size.
So well.
But it's not fair to him to use the size argument. No. Because he moves so well, like you're saying, Yusuf, and his anticipation is brilliant. Yeah. He knows, once the ball goes short cross, he's there covering. Or if it's down the middle, he's blocking the middle. He's brilliant in anticipating the next shot and then playing that shot perfectly into the right space. Yeah. He's a genius. He is a genius in terms of manipulating the spaces on the court. I'd say both of them together, Coello and Tapia, they are brilliant because they were at times today during this match, Yusuf, they're moving forward and suffocating. Sometimes they're a bit more patient, and they alternate between those two as they see fit in the moment.
Yes, true. Haroon, do you have anything to say before? Because I want to get to Chingotto and Galan. Do you have anything before I move on to them?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, for so many weeks, we were saying Galan deserves someone else. Galan deserves someone with more firepower. Galan. Chingotto was let down this match by Galan.
Big time.
Big time. He was the alpha on this team this entire match. And he was keeping them through in the match. If there was if Galan was on the other side, if it was two Galans out there with the same mentality, the same energy, this would have been an absolute blowout. Chingotto kept them alive. Chingotto was amazing this entire match. The first set, he kept giving them chances. I know he made one mistake with a bandeja that went straight to the glass, but Galan gave him 4 others like that. Yeah, so he was insane. And I was really disappointed because Galan did not play smart. He tried to use this brute strength to win in conditions that do not require brute strength. You needed to be patient. You needed to play smart paddle. You need to be sharp mentally with your tactical prowess in this match. And that wasn't the case from Galan. I felt he was it was a cop-out, trying to go to the smash, trying to go hard. But that wasn't how you're supposed to win. And even look at Coello and Tapia. They did not do that. They played smart. They played patient. And that was, to me, the key here. And that is why Galan let Chingotto down today. And Chingotto should go home with his head held high. And Galan should be the one putting out posts saying, I'm sorry to my fans. I'm sorry to Chingotto. I actually let you down today.
I don't know.
Same way he had to do in Brussels.
I don't know if it's a tactical thing, Haroon. I don't know if it's a tactical thing. I know you want to get in here.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't know. Also, I don't fully agree with you. I don't I don't fully agree. I agree to some extent. Yeah, Galan should have played better. He did a lot of mistakes, but I don't think it was a big letdown, a disappointment as much, because he was coming up with great shots. He did make.
Then Haroon, if he was the Galan that, sorry to cut you off, just a question. No, yeah. If he was the Galan that we saw in Rome and the Galan that we saw in Brussels, we would be having a different conversation right now.
Yeah,
We'll be talking about the champions of the P2 Bordeaux and having back-to-back wins over Coello and Tapia, I believe.
True. Yes, I agree. But he's suffering from success because he showed us that he has this insane level. So when he dips a bit, like, you then feel disappointed.
Yeah.
Why aren't you showing us this Galantico alien level? But I don't know. Something was off. You feel like something off the court. Maybe he started this match not feeling good, or you didn't feel good about him. He's not excited even if they win points. The energy was very dull, so something was off for sure. But he was still managing to play amazing because, like, as you guys saw,
because at the end of the day, he is Alejandro Galan. He is he's a world number one, perennial world number one for so many years. But even his lows are highs, you know.
I agree.
For me, like this, there's Galan. There were a couple of big letdowns in this match, and they did show a lot of fight, which I didn't anticipate, especially after the tiebreak, after losing the tiebreak. But the first set, let's not forget that the first set story, they were down 3-1, and they came back and were up 4-3, and they had 30 all at that game, and it could have been 6-3 serving for the set, and they could have been up a set. But they didn't convert that. But the fact is they had 4 set points in the first set tiebreak. 4.
On serve. They had 2 on serve.
4 of them, and I think 3 errors were from Galan's racket.
Yes. And 1 was from Chingotto.
And also, even on the deuce, the ones that gave match point, I think set point. 3 of them also Galan errors or mistakes. So Galan didn't show up in the big moments. When they went up a break in the second set as well, Galan took the medical timeout, and they came back and got broken. I see there are 2 big letdowns for me. One in that tiebreak, and one coming off the medical timeout. And Chingotto stayed there. And the letdowns for me, my feeling, and this is just my interpretation of the eye test and the body language, I didn't feel like he believed he could win today. I felt
why though? They were the better team.
Yeah,
so I think he didn't care.
The first set was stolen.
I didn't feel like
the second set was also
but
stolen.
Galan's body language today was not that I'm here to win. It was more of maybe fear to lose. I thought Chingotto was energetic. Chingotto was himself, and Chingotto was clutch.
He played amazing.
Galan was I thought it was the belief. I didn't see the kill factor. I didn't see the coolness under pressure. I thought it was the belief. Maybe he doesn't believe he can win again against Coello Tapia, like 2 in a row. It got him.
I see where you're coming
he
from.
Started to.
Yeah.
This was my feeling about Galan's performance today, because there were big letdowns today in those moments.
Yeah, but also you're discounting the fact that he saved some points. Like, he forced to create these set points, and he also saved some set points as well. Sure. Saved some match points. So not match points,
but the lack of conversion for me was, I interpreted as a lack of courage on the big points, and I believe that to be a lack of belief. Whether he couldn't believe he could win today, or maybe just a small feeling of fear of, and it's just a small thing, like in the moment, like it's nerves in the moment. He played amazing the rest of the match, but in the moments, I felt like it was just a bit off, off.
You know,
to me, it looked like something is happening off the court. Like, I don't know, something in his life
what?
is.
So let's not.
But that's
like,
personal. That's something. Something in his life
that is. But then what's manifesting is the killer instinct I see on. I didn't see that in those moments.
I think he fought, and
I didn't say he didn't fight. I said in the moment.
I know, but we can. If you hear us in a vacuum and think we're criticizing, this is a guy gave us the worst performance ever. But that's the thing about these 2 guys playing against Coello and Tapia, and it's about the finest of margins. Like, that first set, that was theirs. The Chingalan should have that first set. All of a sudden, boom, boom, they lost it 7-6. Coello decided to rise up to the occasion and take it. Second set, that was almost a double breakup. And then it went from a possible double breakup to they lost the set 6-4. And that's Coello and Tapia's just, how amazing are they as a team? How, elite are they to the point where you really can't let up in any way, shape, or form? Because if you do, they were the worst team for most of this match, but they just won it in straight sets.
Yeah, great.
It was fantastic. I don't know which to give more credit to, Haroon. Is it more of Coello Tapia's resistance, or is it Chingalan took their foot off the pedal?
Yeah, no, I think it's more Coello and Tapia. I think they won it. They had to do a lot to win it. But also my feeling watching that match, I really genuinely felt like they were playing Chingalan were playing against the computer. Like they were playing against a brick wall. I felt like everything was coming back like deadly, like with aggression. So it wasn't coming back and then they just played it again. It felt like the harder they hit, the harder that comes back. The more they try to hit a winner or something, a possible winner comes back to them. Like that's the feeling I had. Like it's very hard to win against Coello and Tapia, to win a point, to control the net, to take control of the point. I felt like I was suffocating if I was playing against Coello and Tapia. Like wow. Like
Haroon, Tapia had some huge dips himself.
Tapia
dipped in the first set when they went from 3-1 down.
By the way,
up to 4-3 down. He dipped in the second set. Like that was
Tapia was the worst player on the court.
Yeah, Coello did not dip. It was Tapia. Like if this match went the other way, we'd talk about how Tapia couldn't get his energy up. He had moments of brilliance, but he had moments, but Tapia was more clutch, and Galan was not clutch. I even felt like for most of the match, Galan was winning the points against Tapia. It was just in a few moments, in the critical moments, Tapia was better.
Yeah. Well, then, guys, I need to ask here because this has now become, since July of 2024, this is 10 wins. Coello and Tapia, 1 win. Chingotto Galan, which just happened in Rome a few weeks ago. Just a quick question. Is this really a rivalry?
For me, it's not a rivalry.
Yes,
Haroon, do you think it is?
Of course it's a rivalry. They're who's going to tie breaks? Well, Momo and Sanz are, but who's going to how many people are going to tie breaks with Coello and Tapia like that? How many of them are forcing or having multiple set points and forcing?
Can you call it a rivalry, Haroon, if they've only managed to get one win in the past year?
Well, technically,
and it's not like they faced each other twice. They faced each other 11 times.
Maybe looking at it head to head, you would see that it's not a rivalry, but they are competing for points. They are winning titles. They are the number twos, and they are the rightful number twos, and they're beating everybody else. So, and they are the ones that are providing pressure the most to Coello and Tapia. So yes, I consider this a rivalry.
Okay.
I think. I mean. It's definitely a rivalry in the sense that it's fun to see them play each other, and we expect that maybe there will be an upset. But the matter of fact is that we haven't seen much in the past year. Yeah. So, but I mean, if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, you can say, a new chapter started with Rome, and we can clean slate. It's 1-1 in the past month. But I think still Coello and Tapia really know how to play Chingalan. Like I really feel like they really know how to play them well. They know what they need to do. Like for the most part, they know what they need to do, and they know what they need to do in any conditions. Yeah. Like whether it's fast or slow, like they know.
Yeah. You know, let me say one short point. What makes me decide, what makes me feel like that it is a rivalry, because every match they play, I don't know who's going to win. It's 50-50 to me. So that's what I decide. Even though they won it 100 times, I still think that it's going to be a toss-up.
I would say that's recent.
Recently, especially recently.
For a while there, we're like Coello Tapia 100% they're gonna win, but that Rome win changed things, and that Brussels also, that final set also maybe changed things in a way. And also Coello and Tapia not at their best for a bit here. They're still winning tournaments, but this isn't the dominant Coello and Tapia that we're used to seeing.
No, they might be a little bit fatigued.
They might be.
When you make finals every single tournament where you win tournaments, like
especially this one was a back-to-back. It was a tough one.
Yeah, it was tough.
Like they straight from Valladolid all the way to Bordeaux.
Slow conditions. Also, they played a lot of Padel before getting to the final.
Yes, they did. Then last question I want to ask: was this the best Coello and Tapia Galan Chingotto match we've seen this year?
Yes.
Even though it was a straight sets win?
Even though it was a straight sets win, I loved the first set. It was drama. It was perfect. It was suspense. I loved it. There was everything. There was Chingotto smashing to keep them in it. There was Tapia. There was Galan amazing. Galan errors. Tapia volley errors. Pressure on both.
Volley, remember? Haroon, then do you agree?
It's up there. It's up there for sure. But to me, it's like pure paddle. Yeah, pure paddle. But in terms of the match and the energy and stuff, I like the Rome match more. Not because Galan and Chingotto won, just because I like the energy and they were excited and cheering on. That to me was more fun to watch. But pure paddle wise, probably maybe
Rome
this
one?
one. This one was elite.
I think I think the one that would be close is the Brussels one. We went to a final set there, and it was very
Maybe.
close. It
That-
was
true.
the
That
best
could-
match.
could have been.
But to me, like in terms of excitement, actually, yeah, like at that first set and that second set also, because it was back and forth. Since Mar del Plata last year on that Coello Tapia amazing win that they
was
came up
insane.
with.
That was insane.
Yeah, this might be right up there, even though it was a straight sets win, which is funny.
That was amazing. I love this match. It was a fun match. I think all paddle fans should either, if you watched it, you enjoyed. I'm gonna rewatch that tiebreak. It was just pure drama, pure cinema, as they say. I loved it.
Yeah. Before we move on, guys, question to be asked. I know Harun, you answered this, but Smail, let's go again. Who was your MVP in this tournament?
For me, it's absolutely clear. It's Arturo Coello.
Arturo
I
Coello.
loved Arturo's performance.
King
today.
Arthur.
He is King Arthur, Harun. He's mentally tough. He finds the spaces. His defense was prolific. His smashing was on point.
Yeah.
He carried them emotionally and tactically today and throughout the tournament in these conditions. Man, I loved what I saw from Arturo today.
Harun,
about you,
Arturo for
Yusuf?
you, huh?
Yeah, Arturo for me. But what about you? Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I told you guys, I had in my notes, I said he reminds us again and again that he's the best player in the world. And best player in the world isn't it what's your peak. It's week in and week out, what do you show me? Week in and week out, Coello shows me he's going to give me a 9, 9.5. If he goes down to an 8.5, I am absolutely surprised. So, yes, of course, Coello, the MVP, again this week after Valladolid. I cannot wait to see what goes on in Malaga. But champions of the week, well-deserved, Coello and Tapia. Yes, sir.
Brilliant. It was brilliant from Coello and Tapia, especially Arturo there.
Yeah. You guys let us know also, do you think that this match was the best match we've seen from these four guys this year? In the comments.
Okay, let's move into a new segment we have prepared for you today, and that is glass half full or empty. And so I'm going to present you guys some results about some teams, and you tell me, do you think it's glass half full or is it empty?
Yeah.
Let's get to first John Sanz and Momo Gonzalez. They had multiple match points against Coello and Tapia. They did go to a final set. Yusuf, is it glass half full or empty?
It's so hard, right? It's so hard. This is a very unique situation. First of all, I think this was every week, last week in Valladolid, my favorite match of the tournament was a John Sanz Momo Gonzalez match, which was against the Deutsch brothers, and then the second one candidate would be against Leal and Guerrero. This was the match of the tournament. I know we had an amazing final, but this was the match of the tournament. Final set, finishing 13-11 in the tiebreak. Glass half full for me, okay? Even though this is their third straight 7-6 loss in the final set, but glass half full. Because they showed that they can go toe-to-toe with the best of the best yet again. They're knocking on the door, and every time, every tournament, the knock gets louder and louder. The door keeps shaking. So John Sanz and Momo Gonzalez, the breakthrough is coming. I love that they are patient with it. They're sticking together, and I think they have a positive attitude. I know it hurts, but glass half full, they're coming. They are coming.
Harun, do you agree? Is it glass half full?
You're making good points, and I would love to agree with you, but I don't know. It was brutal. It was brutal. You saw John Sanz's reaction. He wanted to break his racket. He wanted to throw it out to the stands. He was losing it. It was very frustrating because you had it. You were there, and you could have took down Coello and Tapia. Would have been a great story. You didn't have to win the next match even. Just beat Coello and Tapia. It's just great for your confidence and for your whole career. But I feel like this one, it's gonna take some time. I think Sanz and Momo, they're so great at they're great mentally and they're great as a team. They have great chemistry and they know how to look at the good signs. You feel like they're mature and they try to look at the positives and glass half full. They seem like a glass half full type of team. But this was a very tough loss, and to me, it felt like it was a breaking point. Not in the sense that they're going to break up or anything, but I don't feel like they're going to come up with a win next. I feel like they're going to play better, but I don't think like they're going to have something close to that. I think that was their best chance at beating somebody like Coello Tapia. They could have some good wins, but yeah, it's a glass half empty for me, in my opinion.
Break the tie, Smite. Come on.
For me, I'm going to go glass half full because I like the fact that they're together as a team. You know, I don't get the sense that they're looking to part ways. They are believing in each other. They seem to be a team that's committed to each other. I love the body language of both of them on the court together. They fight together. I think they're building belief. The fact that they can go to these final sets with these top teams, they are building belief. I think they know when they go into slower conditions that they really like their chances, as we saw in the past 2 tournaments. And so, yeah, I think it's glass half full. No, they're building confidence. I think John Sanz is building Momo's belief because of his dynamic and his body language. No, I think they're on the way up.
I just have a last thing to say, please. I think Momo Gonzalez deserves so much love.
He's awesome.
Because I think he is playing some of the best paddle I've ever seen him play. Like, he's peaking. He is peaking. And in that match against Coello and Tapia, he was the MVP. He was the best player in that match. And I hate to say this, but really, Sanz let him down in the end. He made some mistakes there, but Momo did not dip. Momo did not make any mistakes. He rose up to the occasion, and he was there. He was the alpha in this match, and I think he's evolving as a player. So Momo Gonzalez, for me, I wanted to say he deserves so much love. I think he is going up and up and up, and he's playing some of the best paddle I've ever seen him play.
Also, very nice first round win against Edu Alonso and Jairo Batista for them. So they're looking good. All right, Harun, coming to you here. What about Tello and Di Nenno? Reaching another semifinals here, although they lost in straights to Chingalan. Are you glass half full or half empty on them?
Yeah, glass half full. Glass half full, sure. Not like I'm taking so much that they're going to build off some crazy things. I feel like now glass half full in the sense that, okay, we're going to be more consistent semi-finalists in Premier Padel. So I take it good things. Glass half full, solidify your partnership with Di Nenno, showing that you're consistent and good. Glass half full for me.
Yusuf, what do you think? Glass half full or empty?
I'm on the ropes here. I'm on the ropes because, but I'm going to say glass half full because I think, the run to the semifinals wasn't the toughest, but I do think that they played Chingalan the best they've played them ever since they began this partnership. Every time it felt like it was so, like the 7-5, 7-5 that we saw in Brussels. Okay, but they showed fight this time. They showed that they were closer and closer, and I think the partnership is building. I think Di Nenno's actually finding his form again, the Di Nenno that we love and adore, and we think is deservingly a tier 1 guy. So I'm going to go glass half full for Tello and Di Nenno right now.
Wow, you guys are both going glass half full. Yeah. I'm actually going to go the other way here. I'm going to go glass half empty. Sure, I do like the fact that Di Nenno is finding his form, but every time they face one of the top guys, I just automatically have no belief in them if they face Chingalan, Coello Tapia, Super LeBron, even Karburger. I really don't favor them in any of those matches, and they fall to the top 3 seeds consistently with pretty convincingly. So I'm glass half empty.
Okay. But that's good that they consistently fall to the top 3 guys. If those are the guys that you fall to, that's good for some people.
I don't see them breaking through. All right, one more for you, Harun. Yanguas Nieto. They just had revenge against Javelial and Fren Guerrero. Took them out love.
Double bagel.
Double bagel. Are you guys half full or empty on this team?
Yeah, fine. For that specific instance, I would say that I'm a glass half full because I like, guys to get revenge, especially after they been losing consistently to them. But overall, for Yanguas Nieto, I'm a glass half empty. I think they should cut it short, guys. I think it's over for them. I think they reached the end of the line. Everybody's figuring them out. They're not being able to win convincing wins against top teams. Yeah, I think there's a clear roadmap on how to beat Yanguas Nieto, so I'm glass half empty, guys.
Yusuf, are you also empty?
Unfortunately, I love these 2 guys, but it's glass half empty for me. Like, nice that they got revenge. Like, I feel like I saw hunger from Yanguas during that match for the first time in a while. And they're just, I feel like someone has to be like an alpha. Someone has to be proactive. Someone has to take charge. It's just, let's play consistent paddle. Let's play consistent paddle. And, you know, someone made a very nice comment on Instagram when we dropped one of our posts. It said maybe they should switch sides.
Yeah.
And Yanguas, like, I'm like, that's so brilliant, because maybe Yanguas on that side, on the left side, and Koki on the right side is your solution here, but Yanguas isn't as aggressive as we want him to be or we expect him to be. So
he's not naturally an aggressive player.
Which is why he's on the right? Because he has the tools. He's super tall. But like when it came down to that Paquito Bergamini match, they lost 6-4, 6-4, and I think it came down to Paquito had the killer instinct. Paquito was proactive. Paquito was taking charge, and that was why they lost that match. Paquito took over. Not like he's a super aggressive, very aggressive guy, but in the big moments, he decided to step up, be aggressive, and that's how they won. So, half empty, Yanguas Nieto. Unfortunately, I love both players.
Yeah, I'm going to join you guys. It's a unanimous glass half empty on this team.
Shame.
You know what I don't like is that you should assume that they will be better in the slower conditions, indoor, and yet they've not gotten good results actually the past couple indoor tournaments. And I think, Harun, like you mentioned, teams have figured them out. Javier and Guerrero, for the most part, have figured them out quite well. Maybe even put a roadmap for other teams as to how to beat them. But when you're losing convincingly indoors on slow conditions, which should be your edge, no, I don't like what I see. Although I think ranking-wise, they're still in their position, so maybe they're not going to move or break up yet. But
they are not moving.
I think paddle potential, I think they've reached it.
Like, we're becoming a broken record for how many times we say this.
I mean, it would be fun also to see new teams. So I hope they give
especially if the results aren't working. Like, come on, let's make some changes here.
Yeah, high on both players, just together. Maybe they're not the best.
Paquito Yanguas? They run it back from the Spain World Cup thing.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Okay, guys. How about I move on to one of our favorite segments, Spicy No Spicy? Spicy No Spicy. There was a moment there with Galan and Di Nenno at the net, you know, with the cross rackets and stuff like that. What did you think about that, Smail?
Well, I think the debate was that interference from Galan blocking Di Nenno's shot that way? Like, did he basically get into Di Nenno's space? Di Nenno didn't have the freedom or at least emotional safety to go through the shot. Yeah. But when I watched the replay, I mean, the angle is not perfect because it's not exactly at the net. So I can't say for sure if Galan
But it does look like he did not cross.
It's for the most part, I think it looks like he did not cross, although it's not 100% conclusive with this camera angle. But for me, Harun, I think like it was just a nice play from Galan. Like it was smart, perhaps lucky play from Galan, although he has done that a lot, so I don't know how much luck is there. But like Galan stuck his racket and he blocked the ball. Di Nenno probably could have played a little bit better and could have won the point. But no, I thought it was fair. Like I'm fine with the call. I don't think he crossed the net, Yusuf, like you said, and I don't think he interfered. He did not cross the net with his racket. I think it's fair play. I think it's fair play.
What about you, Yusuf?
I feel like Harun. This is a trademark Yanguas thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
it's
Yanguas written all over it.
This is exactly the Mike Yanguas shot, and you can say whatever you want, okay? But the rules say if you do not pass the racket over the net, then it's fair play. Therefore, it is fair play. He's not doing anything wrong. Whether you feel that's uncomfortable, that's unfair, you want to this and that. Like, remember it happened with Khofri in, I can't remember exactly which tournament, but very recently with Yanguas. And Khofri's like, I couldn't do the same thing. I couldn't pass the racket. This is the same exact situation. Galan did not break any rules. Galan was within the rules of the game. And those are the rules. You want to change the rules where you need to give a player a full range of motion, even if they pass to the other side, that's a different story. But as it stands, those are the rules. They're playing within it. There is no problem whatsoever what Galan did, what Yanguas does. That's just how it is. Like it, go blame the game. Don't blame the player.
Yeah,
That's my thought.
I actually disagree with you guys. I don't like it. I didn't like that at all. This putting the hand across putting the racket.
But you don't like it, right? But you don't like it, Haroon. But is it wrong?
Technically, is it wrong? Is it wrong to interrupt the server every few seconds? Maybe tell him stop. Hey, it says stop. It's not wrong. You think I can stop him? Like there are some loopholes in the rules for everything, but it's some ethics there or some like it. Yeah, I don't like it. To me, it's weird. It throws everything off, and you're not comfortable playing the point. That should be a free point. If you were bad enough to give somebody that point, then you should lose it. It's over. You lost your chance.
I think, Haroon, to your point, like it's
a loophole. It is a loophole.
It's a loophole because it can be dangerous, right? Because if Di Nenno's going full swing, full power, it could be dangerous. It could be dangerous.
But he has every right to go full swing.
He does.
He has every right.
And
if this guy's obstructing
Galan
him,
was
go ahead.
right at the net.
Yeah.
Like it was really a millimeter away. So it's dangerous. And these players, they do this dangerous move. We see it all the time. But this close. Yeah.
Smack him.
It can be.
Go full swing and smack it. It's on him.
You're not breaking any rules if you want to hit the player every time. You don't want to hit the court. Just go hit the player. Try to aim at the player. Aim at his head. Aim at his whatever stomach. Like that's also not breaking the rules. It's not illegal. But do you really want to do that?
No. You make good points. To your point, by the way, how many times did Coello and Tapia peck Galan today?
Galan got 3 headshots today, right? He got 1 headshot. He got 1 chest shot.
Yeah.
He got one of them in the tiebreak too.
Yeah.
One of the headshots was so strong that it knocked his hat right off.
Knocked his hat off.
Yeah.
Which might be one of the things that got him off his game.
Yeah.
Pure cartoon character.
Yeah. You think he had the concussion?
No,
not to that extent.
No, I don't think so. No, but it was. It looked like
if it was a Coello Bajada, I would say concussion.
I know. It would
But
not concussion. Murder.
It was bandejas.
That would have been convicted murder. We have it on film.
Yeah. Well, that was our spicy no spicy moment. We do want to know what you guys think of this because it is. Some people are on the fence, as we are here. So let us know, please. Well, let's move on to our next segment, which is Haroon. You love to say it. Dudes, cool dude moment of the week. Ismail, you have a very, very nice one. Give it to us.
I love the sportsmanship that we saw from John Sanz in the match against Coello Tapia. And this was a class act from John because it was 9-9 in the final set tiebreak. They're fighting tooth and nail to finally get over the hump and take down the world number ones, the most dominant team in the past few years. Yeah. And at 9-9, Tapia hits this volley towards his body, hits the back glass. For all intents and purposes, we see John Sanz recover it with his backhand, and he basically put up a very nice lob.
Yeah.
But then he stops the point, guys. He stopped the point, and he puts up his fingers. He says 2. Basically, he gives the point to Coello and Tapia, claiming that he double touched it, and there was no call from the referee. I don't think the VAR was going to be able to tell it with these camera angles that we have currently in Premier Padel. It was purely a call that only John Sanz could make, and he gave it to Coello and Tapia. And I just love the sportsmanship from him to know that you're going against the world number ones, the most dominant team, and yet you're completely fair and you show all class in giving that point away. I loved it. It's pure class and sportsmanship from John Sanz and shows you the type of character he is. And Arturo Coello gave him his flowers after as well, and that shows you other players recognize that sign, that gesture.
Yeah, I wanted to say
it was a great one. That was a good point.
Coello made sure, like you could see him just clapping for him because he knows that was a very, very, very beautiful moment from a sportsmanship standpoint.
Let's be clear. Many players would not do that. Many players. They would not stop it. If the ref didn't call it, the umpire didn't call it, they would not stop play. John Sanz stopped play.
Yeah. Many people won't even stop it when you're just playing a friendly game in your local club. Let alone a final set tiebreak in one of the biggest tournaments in the world in your career. So that's lots of credit to them.
Yeah. Another one though, Smail?
I guess the theme is sportsmanship, guys, because there was another very similar nice moment from Arturo Coello against Chingalan today in the final.
He gave him that magic. He gave him that nice sportsmanship to use for himself.
Yeah, I guess John Sanz set the stage for Arturo Coello to continue, although Arturo Coello is in general a class act, but it was 3-2 up for Arturo Coello, but there was a break point for Chingalan. There was a little bit of a volley-to-volley interaction at the net. I think Coello called that the ball touched him, and so he stopped the point, gave Chingalan the point, and essentially the break 3-all, and then Chingalan went up 4-3. So again, just a fantastic moment when you see in the tough moments, in these critical matches, money's on the line, points are on the line, legacy's on the line, yet they act in a fair and sportsmanship kind of way. I love to see it, guys. I'm never going to get sick of these gestures. I love to see it in Padel, Yusuf in tennis with Sinner Alcaraz. I love to see it.
True champions don't need to win that way. They don't. They're going to win fair and square through the game that they play.
Not only do they not need to win that way, they don't want to win that way.
Exactly.
They don't want to. They want to earn the victory because that's how sport is.
Very true.
So I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Coello love. I love when Coello gets love.
Awesome. All right, guys, let's get into the women's side of the draw because, Yusuf, we had a fantastic new champion emerge in Bordeaux.
It was a wild draw. We have new champions. Someone outside the three that we know, Beo Gonzalez, Claudia Fernandez, Triay Brea, Ari Paula, Harun, Sofia Araujo, and Araujo Ustero take home the Bordeaux P2. Did you see this coming? I did not, my friend. No. And this is their first title together as a team. I think you weren't high on this team. Me and Smail were high on this team.
Was not high.
So I'm not going to say we took credit because we did not pick them to win this. But hats off to them. Araujo Ustero, the youngest woman ever to win a premier paddle tournament at the ripe age of 18. So young, so talented. The sky is the limit for this girl. This final, by the way.
I didn't think someone was going to pass Claudia Fernandez, but I guess Araujo Ustero did it even younger.
Yes, Ustero's younger. Ustero she's coming. She's coming. Great win. Like Guinaga and Sanchez, that final was so tough. It was so tough, and you can feel the nerves because, Sofia hasn't won a tournament since that P2 she won in New Giza last year, and she's been struggling. And they were able to get over the hump. They were up 5-2 in the first set. And then Guinaga and Sanchez come back. And then they lose the second set. And then in the final set, they found the jitters again. And maybe they were going to blow this, but they found their way through. And I think it's a big breakthrough for this team. Confidence is everything in sports. And they got confidence. They have their first title as a team. And is this a team that should challenge the rest of the top dogs? I think so. What do you think, Harun?
Yeah, great. By the way, let me just say, great. Credit to them. It's very refreshing. Finally, we want to see something different and not seeing the same.
Refreshing is the right word, right? Refreshing is the good word.
Yeah, it is refreshing. It is refreshing, and they had to win. They had to take down some great teams. They had to take down the teams that took down the teams that they never were able to beat before. So somebody did the work for them, and then they beat them. So still credit to them. They had some good wins. They didn't drop a set, well, except in the finals in the final. But yeah, they played great. It was Araujo Ustero is making history, youngest player in the world, youngest player in Premier Padel history to win a title. So that's obviously great. Sofia Araujo is feeling herself. She's feeling comfortable, feeling good. Maybe they could compete with the top three. I don't know. Maybe they could unlock something, some confidence. Maybe Bea Gonzalez and Claudia Fernandez and and Ari Sanchez could start to feel like, oh wait, maybe these guys are actually good, and maybe we should start to fear them. I don't know. But their road, by the way, in my opinion, wasn't so great. So I wouldn't give them so much credit for their road. They're like, oh wow, this was a gladiator run, and they deserve so much credit. They're an elite team now.
No, they took care of business. They beat who was in front of them. It wasn't impressive necessarily, but Harun, they beat who was in front of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me just say, they should thank God that Martina Calvo was not in their way.
Sofia Araujo was kryptonite.
She absolutely trembles when she sees Martina Calvo. And they are lucky because Martina Calvo fell before she could face them.
Fell to Guinaga.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Like if she came, it was probably Martina Calvo yet again takes down Sofia Araujo.
Imagine see Martina Calvo at 16 winning the title. That would have been
But
insane.
they also got lucky because Claudia Jensen and then Alejandra Alonso, the team that beat Ari Sanchez and Paulo Jose Maria, that they had to retire against Sofia Araujo and Andrea Ustero, so they didn't even get a full proper fight, which you don't know what the results were going to be there. But still, they took care of business, as you say, Ismail. So they deserve credit, not taking away from that. But it's not a wonder dream. But she's a young player, because it's also tough to win when you're young. You're not mature enough to take down these very old and veteran players. So that deserves a lot of credit in its own as well.
Yeah, it was a good win, a nice confidence booster. I think from Ustero, what I saw from this tournament is maybe she's becoming a more consistent player.
Yeah,
I think it's also important for these young players.
Conditions forced her to be consistent.
Yeah, and it's important for these young players also to win tough matches and win pressure points and feel pressure. They were up 5-2 in that first set, and then they got back 5-all. And then they found a way to win 7-5, and then they were up a break, then they lost a break, then they got the break back. Like this type of momentum swings are important for a young player to go through, and so I like this as an experience for Ustero. I thought she played better than Sofia, especially in the final. But let's see if we're gonna get some new competition then as we move forward with the women.
We need more juice.
We need more juice,
teams, especially in the women's.
Let me ask you guys before we move on here, Yusuf, who's your MVP?
I have to go with Sofia Araujo, the captain. She held the fort. I felt Ustero made this new territory for her. Araujo held it down, deserving of the MVP for me.
Okay, Harun, you have who's your MVP?
I'll go with Andrea Ustero, because Andrea Ustero, I think she's the one that explored these new territories for Sofia Araujo, and I think that she's the one that gave the confidence and gave the opportunity to be in this place now. So, and she played great, and she's young player. So young players, it's tougher, to find themselves in this adult world. So to me, I give the credit MVP to the teenager, Andrea Ustero.
Nice, Harun. I'm going to back you as well. I like Ustero here. I loved her performance throughout the tournament, and I like the maturity and consistency that she unlocked maybe this tournament too. Yeah. She's my MVP, Yusuf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, nice. But guess time for my favorite segment, guys, and that is overreaction or not. So I'm going to tell you something, and you let me know. Is it an overreaction? Is it not? So many interesting things happen. Storylines have been written. Harun, first one coming to you. Slower courts make paddle boring to watch. Overreaction or not?
Ooh, yeah, this is a tough one. I think it's not an overreaction. I wouldn't say it's boring. I would say it's boring to watch because we got an insane final. But overall, I think it's more boring for the entire paddle sport because we got to see less smashes, less exits, and less of these crazy points that we love to see. So I would say it's slightly more on the boring side. So it's not an overreaction.
Ismail, do you agree with him?
No, I call overreaction on this completely because I love the tactical and mental battle we get to see on these slower courts. And I don't want them too slow. Remember, like in Acapulco a couple years ago, and the courts were so slow.
When Ruiz and Stupa had to
Ruiz
win
and
pure fitness.
Stupa, and I think also the balls had something to do with it. So it also has a mix of the courts plus the balls. But in general, no, I'm okay with the slow courts as long as they're not Acapulco level slow.
Yeah.
And I like to see the tactical battle and how players adapt and teams adapt to that. And I like this variation in the sport, Yusuf.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. This is an overreaction. Slower courts give us a different dimension to the sport. We see different type of players thrive in these conditions. And I love watching it. And it's different, which is the most important thing. It's refreshing to see. But as you said, definitely not like what in world Mexico was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No one wants to see that. Well, second one, Ismail. Momo Gonzalez and John Sanz will win a title this year. Overreaction or not?
This is not overreaction. Sign me up. I've become a huge fan of this team. I just talked about how I like their chemistry. I like how they bond together. I like how they fight together. I think their game style maybe is suited more for the slower courts because they know how to grind out long points better, and they're a very fit team. Both of them are really fit, and they're really ready to go as long as you need them to go. I think that the year is long. I think the courts are different. I think, I can see them, for example, having a great run in New Giza later in the year. I can see them in Barcelona, maybe going up for where we always see weird things happen. Now, I like to see. I think we'll see something, guys.
Haroon, overreaction or not?
I love them. I love them as a team. I love them as individual players. I'm big high on them. But I really don't see this happening because this only will happen if you don't have to face Coello or Tapia or Chingalan. Because if you have to face two of these guys, or even an Ausberger and also along the way, or maybe a Paquit, like it's so hard. It's so hard to me. And also because I feel like if you maybe fine. Let's say they can take down Coello Tapia. Maybe that's not an overreaction. That could happen. But you're gonna have to position yourself and squeeze your game to make sure you win that match. But then you have to kind of adjust and beat a team like Chingalan, which is very different, or beat a team like Ausberger, who could come up next. So it's so hard. You have to be elite, and I don't think they're at that level. To me, it's an overreaction. I don't think they're gonna win a title.
I absolutely disagree with you. This is a team that is coming. They are coming. And they deserve to win a tournament this year. And I think they are going to do it. And you're saying Carburger. They beat Carburger, by the way. They actually beat them in straight sets very convincingly in Buenos Aires. They beat Supa and LeBron. They beat some of these best guys. They took Coello. They had match points against Coello and Tapia. So Momo and John, I think, yes, this is not an overreaction. They will win a tournament this year.
Can they do it consistently, though?
I like this. I think it has to be a P2 where the top guys might not be there.
But then that's kind of discounts what the arguments you're making. That you're
it doesn't
that
discount
great.
because that is what's going to happen.
Well, for now, as far as we know, all the top players are playing all the P2s now.
No. Later on in the season, when the thing it gets tough, it gets rough. I think they're going to take a week off, some here and there. At the moment, they're playing. They might be playing now because it's the best time now because they get a chance to pick and choose. So they might be picking, and later on in the season, we're not going to go. Yeah. So we'll see. But I think it's overreaction. They're going to win a tournament. They are worthy of one. Next up, Haroon.
Let's go.
Sanyo is still a top player on the right. Overreaction or not?
Sanyo Gutierrez. I am a big fan of Sanyo Gutierrez. Actually, when I started watching Padel, I really loved Sanyo. And I was so sad that he was getting older because he was so spicy. He's such a smart player, and he's still not gone. I think he still has a lot of juice in his tank, and I still think that he's a top 10 player. Yes, this is not an overreaction. Sanyo Gutierrez is a top 10 player on the right, and he just needs the right person with him on the team, and they could do special things, in my opinion. Yes, not an
overreaction or not?
Sanyo Gutierrez is a fun player, and he still has more in the tank, Haroon, but he's no longer a top 10 player on the right. Unfortunately, the game has evolved where you need to be super quick, super fast, super powerful, maybe even more of the aggressive type. And
he was able to take a set off Coello and Tapia with Gonza, though.
That's awesome. And that was really impressive to see. I also don't think he has the stamina to go deep into tournaments like he used to when he was younger, which is what happens to older players. But he's awesome. I don't want to see him retire, but he's not a top 10 player. I can see a magical run maybe every now and then, magical match, not even magical run, but not top 10 player.
Yeah, no, I think unfortunately he's just outside that, which his ranking shows it, right? He's at 28 now, which means on the right side, he's just outside. We break it down, divided by 2. So he's in the top 14, which I think that's exactly where he should be. The firepower, everything you said. I'm not going to repeat what you said, but I agree with everything you said there. And but he's going to give us a good match here and there, but he's not going to be able to sustain it over and over again. You need to be young. You can't, even though he's playing, and God bless him, and he plans to go on longer and longer. It's lovely to watch him, but top 10, you need to have the consistency and go deep in tournaments. I don't think he has that. Yeah. For one match, yes, top 10, but that's not the game, is it? Okay, last one, Haroon. Tolito Aguirre was holding Gonza Alfonso back. Overreaction or not?
I have to say this is an overreaction. I think Tolito, yes, although he lost love one with Garrido, who is a fantastic player, and you should win like lots of matches with him. And Gonza won a set against Coello Tapia with Sanyo Gutierrez. But no, I still think it's overreaction. I think Tolito is a more talented player in my opinion. And I think, no, that was an overreaction. He wasn't holding him back. It's tricky, though. I don't really feel like any of them were holding each other back. I feel like but maybe slightly Tolito, he wasn't the problem, in my opinion. So it's an
Overreaction or not?
It's an overreaction. No, he wasn't holding him back. This was a great team. It was a great partnership. They both added something special to the sport. And I think Tolito actually, over the course of I think since the beginning of the year, even looks like he's in different shape. His stamina on court feels different. He has a lot of talent. He has great anticipation, Tolito, as well. So I like this. No, it's an overreaction. He wasn't holding him back. They were having the correct results for their level.
You know, I don't know why they split, okay? Because Tolito, as you said, it stands out. He is clearly losing weight. He's lost a lot of weight. If you go back and look at his pictures in the beginning of the year and the pictures of him now, he's slimmer, he's fitter, he looks stronger. So he's working on it, which I love to see because that was a criticism that even we had here. Like, to compete with the best of the best, you need fitness. But he was holding Gonza back. He was. This is not an overreaction because when he was playing with him, he was not in shape. And Gonza, clearly, as you can see, he is in shape. He's moving around amazing. He's doing he's able to go toe-to-toe with Coello Tapia for a while. He's doing amazing, as we can see. So, at the time, he was. You want to look down in the future. Oh, well, Tolito lost weight. Tolito lost weight now, but he didn't lose weight then. So, then he was holding him back. And I think, but going forward, you can't say because oh, look at Tolito. But Tolito's improving and he's working on his fitness. But then... I think this is not an overreaction. Tolito at the time was holding Gonza back.
Okay, fair point. Well, you let us know in the comments. Do you agree with Yusuf or you agree with us? In the meantime, you know we like to keep it real on this show. We like to keep it 100 and let you know where we were right and where we were wrong. Let's start off with where we were wrong. Guys, on the men's side, Haroon. You had Ausberger and Cardona going for the title. That was wrong.
It was worse than Valladolid.
It was worse than Valladolid. Yusuf, you had Chingalan.
That was close.
Which you were close.
I believed. Even in that final, I believed.
You had belief. On the women's side, guys, I had Geometry and Brea. They did not even partake in this event. Haroon, you had Ari and Paula. They got upset.
Yeah.
So you were wrong there.
Weren't even by the champions. They weren't even by the champions.
Aren't you wrong? Didn't you have Stupa and LeBron in this tournament?
Yeah, I had Super LeBron, but they didn't play, so I got my backup call. Coello and Tapia.
Yeah, it's a good backup call. Good backup call. Good backup call.
We should have backups.
Yeah, backup call, Coello Tapia. Backup call, Coello Tapia anytime. We can have that one.
No, you were right. Yeah, take credit. Tell everyone that you deserve credit for that. Yeah, sure.
It is what.
Come on, tell them that where we were right. Tell them where we were right.
I did have Coello Tapia because I did not have Super LeBron. You don't know. Maybe if Super LeBron played, I would have been correct.
There is no way you deserve any credit. Please, everyone, remind him that he was wrong. He picked Super LeBron, a team that didn't play.
And then I got Coello Tapia, so I was right.
No, you weren't.
Well, on the women's side, though,
none of us.
Right. No one had that. We all whiffed on that puppy. Nobody saw this crazy draw, and nobody saw Ustero and Araujo going through all the way to the title.
Yeah. Something else I also had wrong was I thought it was going to be fast conditions. It turned out to be slow conditions. Very slow.
Which I told you, it's indoors. It's going to be slow conditions. I told you, don't go with Karburger, but you still decided to go with Karburger.
I thought it was going to be lightning quick.
But we have to say, Haroon, me and you picked fun picks again. Chingalan, are they going to be Coello Tapia?
Chingalan,
it's a fun pick.
Fun pick. The number two
Are
team.
you
more-
taking credit for
no,
making
I'm
a brave
taking
pick?
credit, but it's a more fun pick than Coello and Tapia.
I had Stupabron.
Like even if I picked Coello and Tapia, like it's not even I'm
We're not
even
in the
happy.
same league, by the way. Me and you, that's not the same category.
No. But I walked so you can run. I started this thing of Korburger, possibility of winning tournaments.
You did
None
start
of you
it.
even thought that was
Credit to
possible.
you.
None of
Credit
you
to
thought that was possible.
And it's still not possible.
It was a possible pick. It's still not possible, but it became a possible pick, and no one would call you crazy when you pick it.
Yeah, well, you made the brave pick. Let's see if you're going to continue to be brave down the line.
Yeah.
And in any case, let us know what you think about our picks and comments. And also, go check out our interview with Coach Nacho Porto and also Christian Medina Murphy. They talk about a lot of interesting things about how to develop your paddle game, some of the insights of the paddle tour, different play styles. You're going to learn so much, and I think you're also going to laugh a lot too. They're super interesting interviews. And in the meantime, we'll see you right here. Subscribe so you can get your weekly paddle content here.
Very interesting stuff coming soon to you guys. Vamos, vamos, vamos!